Welcome to the Bottom Music Podcast. I am Eric.
I'm Mike.
And we are here at Dirty Nelly's
in beautiful downtown Palatine, Illinois,
to celebrate the record release of the Plainwhitets, self-titled.
And tonight we'll be hanging out backstage all night talking to some very special people. It's going to be amazing.
Stick around. To the Bottom Music Podcast.
But bam!
Yeah. Well, we have a very special guest with us.
Mr. Shawn Davis.
Thank you.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. What's up, guys?
How are you?
I'm good.
It's so nice that you accepted my invite and came tonight.
Yeah,
I was like, you
appreciate
son
that.
of a bitch, you're coming. Because if you said no, we were probably going to drive this thing and come, do one of those duct tape you and bring you in here.
Yeah. Yank me out of my house.
Yeah. Or drive it straight into your living room,
Yeah.
right through the wall.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Do a little
Or
Mr.
two.
Kool-Aid
We'll
Man.
do what we got to do to get your ass in here.
Right.
So, fill us in a little bit what you do when you're not playing kick-ass drums.
Yeah. So I was a full-time musician for the longest time. And then once I kind of got out of that, basically got into technology. Starting in 6th grade, I actually did sound engineering. So in 6th grade, I was doing sound for the high school, musicals and plays and all that. And I really got into it. So I was doing all that. So once I kind of made my transition from full-time music to tech, I got into corporate IT consulting. So I had a lot of big clients and I was working on internet security and all that. And I was kind of trying to figure out what type of technology would I like to do and wouldn't be outsourced overseas somewhere. And I realized internet security I think is going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
And that was before all the big data breaches happened. So basically went to Illinois Tech, got my master's, went through all digital forensics, security, penetration testing, all this stuff.
Jeez.
And I got in at the perfect time. It felt like as soon as I got in there, all of a sudden everyone was getting breached.
Wow.
So, I went to a security conference and I did a thing on cloud forensics. So I did a whole presentation. When I got done, there were these two dudes in suits. And they're like, we're with the FBI. They're like, we'd like you to do a project for us. And I'm like, all right, great. So, I worked on that and basically went to the Regional Computer Forensics Laboratory in Chicago. And they had all these special agents and examiners, a deputy director was in there.
Don't violate any national security.
Yeah, no, I'll be cool.
Okay.
There's
Just-
feds breaking
Yeah,
into,
yeah.
into the trailer, yanking me out.
we're just trying to make some music and a podcast, bro.
Yeah.
All right. So, I basically did all this research for them and, I broke my presentation into 7 parts. And after each part, I'd ask does anyone have any questions? It was nothing, dead silence. I'm like,
Wow.
I am either really sucking at this or no one has any idea what the hell I'm talking about. And I got to the end and I'm like, all right, well, does anyone have any questions? They listened to every word I said. I had probably an hour's worth of questions.
Wow.
I have this terrorism case and I have this. And what would you do for it? So,
So you're solving all these incredibly difficult problems. Yeah, and shit, I wouldn't even know where to start with all
Yeah.
That's freaking crazy. So, and that's very much part of your life right now, right? That's what you do every single day.
Yeah. I was actually I was recruited to apply for the FBI and I got halfway through the process and I realized there was no way I was going to pass the physical fitness test. So I had to join a crazy CrossFit gym just so I could actually pass this test.
No
And when I was about to go a little bit further, they say, you have to sign a worldwide mobility agreement. So I was well, my wife and I didn't really want to move all over the place forever. So the law firm that I'm at now, they had a posting for an investigator, but it was on the civil side. I'm like, oh, this would be great. I can stay in Chicago. So I'm in charge of all the investigations that happen at this firm. I've been there for 10 years, and that kind of brings me to right now.
Nice.
I mean, that is how much stress does that put on you? Is it very stressful to take in that much information and have to answer to people?
Yeah, it's stressful just because you can't ever be wrong. I mean,
Right.
we're filing crazy cases.
Facts.
Yeah, the Facebook case when almost everybody in Illinois got $400. That was one of my first cases at the firm. So I figured out that Facebook basically had the world's largest facial recognition database. So an attorney and I worked on that case and it was filed and it took 7 years. And I mean, you have to be dead on when you're doing this, you know, and
Yeah.
I'll do expert witness work. I testified in a federal trial, like it was a jury trial, it was in Oregon, and I was on the stand for 3 days.
Wow.
And that was for robocallers. And like, what robocaller thinks that a jury's going to side with them? I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
everyone hates robocalls. But it was kind of like a bet the company case. Like they said, you know, if the jury like believes you with all of your evidence, like this could be almost $1 billion case. Like no pressure. So I mean, they were coming at me hard.
Yeah.
And at the end of the 3 days, we got a jury verdict that was one of the largest privacy verdicts in history. It was $925 million.
Wow.
It was nuts. And yeah, like I had to be completely accurate, you know, go through all of the evidence. And yeah, that was a little stressful.
Yeah,
I
I
can
would
imagine.
say so. Well, during you doing this over the 10 years and stuff, but you've also been an active drummer.
Yep.
What was this I saw the other day? You were hanging out with a bunch of drummer dudes and you guys were out. Was that like a bunch of guys that you were in like a drum circle type of thing with?
So I did my undergrad in music performance.
Yeah.
And that was at Northern Illinois University. So every year there's the Percussive Arts Society International Convention.
Sorry to call it a drum circle, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's basically
You're
just
like,
like
"This son of a bitch."
it's basically like a 4-day long kind of drum clinic-a-thon.
I'm not
Like,
spying on you or anything. I just thought, I'm like, this son of a bitch is out playing drums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I got to see like Matt Cameron and Matt Chamberlain.
Oh, nice,
and,
nice.
Yeah, it was awesome. So they have like night concerts. So all the dudes I was hanging out with were like my undergrad buddies. Like
Did
from
you get to
NIU.
play at all or no?
Nope, just watching.
Huh.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Well, we got a little thing going. We're getting to writing some tunes, but like we've already been screwing around a little bit. And what would you say? What would you say is the most exciting part about making new music now?
I would say for me, so and just a little backstory too, you know, I was one of the original drummers in the Dog and everything. And, you know, tonight coming to the show, like I realized I had never seen them play without me.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that was super surreal,
Sure.
you know, like watching that and just kind of getting that vibe of, you know, seeing people play original music and remembering when you were doing that. So, I mean, for me, like music wise, like I mainly play like jobbing gigs,
Yeah.
you know, so I'll play like festivals or things like that. Or sometimes I might play like an orchestra gig. I played in musicals, like I'll do jazz stuff, but you know, it's like all standard tunes. Like,
Can you read music?
yep.
Fuck
Yeah, I'm a-
hey, dude.
I'm a-
real
Yeah,
pro
I know.
over here.
I'm a big reader. So like
Wow.
a lot of these gigs, they just give me a big, you know, binder of charts.
Yeah.
And I just
Bible.
I just
Yeah.
read charts for like 3 hours. So
I don't know. I could never do that.
so for me, you know, it's like, yeah, it's like the jobbing thing. And I'm excited about this project with you guys because like I want to play original music again, you know?
Hell
like,
yeah.
yeah. And it's awesome. Like seeing a crowd, like singing your tunes and getting into it and just like having the emotion. Like, yeah, that's what I want to do again.
Yeah, just keep creating, you know. And it's like, even if like it's you put out one record or 5 songs or something or whatever, it's just about like there's such a vibe of like the old times we all played together and it was so fun. That's why tonight was so special. Like seeing the T's play All That We Needed front to back was like, you know, like whoever was in that crowd tonight, they walked out of here tonight going like, holy shit. Especially this guy over here. I don't know what was up your ass, but like you were on fire, dude. On fire.
Not on my ass, man. I was just, you know, I was playing all the old tunes. I was like really, you know, having fun.
Yeah, I mean, it showed. I mean,
And the crowd was incredible,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. It's just, and it, you know, playing with Onelife and the Dog and everything. I was like, this is a great fucking night.
Yeah, it was a really special show for sure.
Yeah, it was awesome. Just seeing everybody.
All right, well, thank you for coming on and filling us in on your crazy ass life. That sounds so stressful. It just makes me want to pull my hair out right now.
Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we have Pat Gilroy from Onelife joining us on the new. It's not the bus anymore, so it's the new home of To the Bottom Music Podcast.
The shitty mouse infested travel trailer.
Yeah,
I think
Fireside Bowl.
I think
That's
it's,
right.
I think it's beautiful.
Thank you. How did it feel? You just got off stage with me.
I think that was one of the best Onelife shows in the history of the band. So
I would agree with you.
I would also agree. Fucking, you guys killed it.
Yeah, felt good up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a really good energy. Everyone in the crowd was so freaking like welcoming. I thought it was great.
it was a very good response. Yes,
Yeah.
it was incredible.
Yeah, it's always nice to soak up the energy of everyone, in the crowd, that, everyone was enjoying themselves, and it just felt good, felt really good to be up there.
I think you made new fans tonight, like, big time.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
So I was in the crowd, and a lot of people were, oh, man, wow, these guys are actually good. Like they.
We only really had one rehearsal with our fill-in drummer, Marc, who did an excellent job.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, we can't thank him enough. We have a new record coming out. I'm not really sure exactly on a release date, but it's going to be coming out on Humans Were Here, which is Tom's label, Tom Higginson from the Plainwhitets.
Yes.
And what can we say? Are we ever going to put out this video, do you think?
We're going to drop the video. We're going to drop the record. We're going to put out a actual record, vinyl, per Mr. Higginson's request.
Okay. And
make sure to give me one of those.
Yeah, we'll make sure we get. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, $49.99.
Okay.
How good did it feel tonight, though, to play with everybody for the first time in like 20 years as like a group? I mean,
like Plainwhitets, Dog and everything.
Yeah, Dog and everything.
Onelife.
Yeah, like we haven't been in the same room with each other on the same bill for over 20 years.
No
You
shit.
guys realize that? Yeah. It felt fucking awesome.
It's funny. I was thinking, just walking through the venue, I was like, how is it that like, our friends from fucking 20 plus years ago are like the best fucking musicians and like the best bands, you know what I mean? Like that are also like our friends.
Yeah. How did we get
does
so
that
lucky to
happen?
be like hang out with each other on a normal day and also be in bands together and still be doing this 20 years later?
Well, I mean, we were also a scene, so I think we thought each other were amazing. Other people might not also think that we're good.
Well, of course we thought
Well,
we were
they're,
big.
you mean wrong people? Yeah, maybe.
Well, we're still really enjoying doing it, and it's more exciting now than it was, I think, 20 years ago, to be honest with you.
Because now there's no expectations. It's just having fun and seeing our friends and playing good music. And
Yeah. And Mueller wears sweatpants on stage. It's awesome.
Yeah,
we don't have to wear tight jeans anymore,
And
Let it all
you
hang
don't even
out.
have to pay extra to see that.
No, not at all.
It's included in
I
the,
mean,
in the
I
ticket.
do. He makes me pay, but... Well, anyways, all right. Well, Pat, thank you so much for being on the show.
thank you.
We can't wait to get the rest of the band in here. I don't know what they're doing. We'll get to it. Who knows what Mueller's doing? I don't even want to go there. All right. Sounds good. All right, so we're gonna welcome Marc Ess from.
Oh my God, too many things. Let's say For the Fallen Dreams,
Okay.
Night Spice,
Ooh, yeah, that's more. I mean, come on, Night
Yeah.
Spice.
Gold House, Flowers for Dorian, One Life. Come on.
This guy, we're singing to each other on stage like we've known each other for years. It was romantic. I loved it.
was.
Yeah,
It was-
great job, dude. Thanks again for. I mean, we loved every moment of it.
So crazy, man. I've played over 1,000 shows easily, and that was definitely top 10 and like the most fun I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well,
I
thanks.
mean, you looked like you were having a fucking blast up
he
there.
was, dude. And you hit so fucking hard. I'm deaf.
There's something about like putting in work and then watching your work like
Yeah.
show itself.
Yeah.
Like I haven't slept in like 3 days because I've just wanted to make sure.
I mean,
that
dude, this was pretty short notice, right?
it wasn't at all.
Oh.
But I'm like a next man up kind of guy.
Yeah.
Where I'm always like working on this,
Right,
and then
right.
I'm working on the next thing,
Gotcha.
and it came up quick. It came
Because you guys, you weren't rehearsing 3 months ago. Is kind of what I was getting. at.
No, we okay. So when it comes to that, a week, 2, not even.
Like 2 weeks. Sorry, I
Yeah.
was taking a sip of my
Yeah. So
fake beer here.
just kind of, balls to the wall, learn all the fucking material, and then practice your ass off.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, you killed it, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can't even imagine, like I said, it's hard enough if I fill in for a guitar player, but, like, drums, I feel like, are a whole different thing. It's just, like, it's so much more on your shoulders to especially when there's a lot of parts.
I've always thought of the drummer as, like, the backbone. Obviously, like, if the drummer's off, you sound like crap.
Yeah, we're screwed.
You're screwed.
You're screwed.
You're screwed. Guitarist hits like a wrong note. The sound guy can turn that down a little
I
bit.
mean, he worked it. He went home. He went last night after practice. He went and checked out the Bulls because he got season tickets, right?
Yeah.
Which, hey,
nice.
and then he goes and he sets up all the click track stuff and everything, and he was probably up all night, right?
Yeah, I literally, so I went back to the practice space. I set up all the click tracks, and then I ran through the set twice.
Damn.
And then by the time I was done, I had to leave for a DJ set this morning.
Wow.
So
what are you DJing at 6 a.m?
Like a trail race.
Really?
Like
Oh,
a 30,
cool.
like 30K, 15K, 5K.
Wow.
Yeah, it was super cool. I'm part of like a bunch of Jeep groups,
Yeah.
and
I wouldn't understand.
and this one guy just posted, "Hey, like any of my Jeep lovers out there happen to be a DJ?" And I hit him up right away, and he was just like, "Oh man, I know who you are. You're a great drummer." He's like, "You're a DJ?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, you're
Hell
booked."
yeah. Wow.
Dude, fuck yeah. Tell us about like your most recent, like the band that's your band that you're going to be jamming with the most. Hopefully.
So One Life's gonna play some more shows. We're definitely gonna play some more shows. But For the Fallen Dreams and Night Spice are my main two projects.
And where can we find those?
Everywhere.
Okay.
Like
Is
legit.
it just like nightspice.com or?
I mean, you Night Spice Music on Instagram. Night Spice is on Spotify. We have just released the new full length album.
Did you?
Yeah, we're about
How did
to,
I fucking pass the buck on that one?
Oh
Shit.
my! Welcome to Miami 2 After Dark.
Okay.
It's honestly, it's probably one of my most proud records.
Yeah?
Yeah. It came together real fast, and I'm normally like balls to the wall, overplaying, doing too much, and on this record, it was just all about the songs, just making sure that the parts fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
You know?
craft.
Kevin Singleton, he
Kevin's the shit. man.
he's the best. He honestly, he's one of my best friends. Him and I will argue with each other to the death, but he's one of my favorite dudes, and
Intimidating as fuck too.
yeah,
Yeah, but the nicest guy in the world.
He's a teddy bear though, but like when he's set on something, he's very set on it.
Nice.
So, but I love that.
Yeah.
Because he's so talented, and it's just like I'm about to go into the studio in like 2 weeks and record another like 7 or 8 songs.
Wow.
We
Yeah.
just released an album like
Yeah.
2 months ago.
Badass.
Yeah.
Are you? So you're gonna DJ the set after the after party tonight,
I am.
huh? What are you
I
gonna
am.
spin out there?
Man, just a bunch of.
You're not gonna do like Boys to Men and all that kind of stuff, are you? I mean, you should.
I might play a Boys to Men song. No. I'm your like top 40 with a couple of deep cuts. Like, I love just the 2000s hip hop bangers. The ones where,
Yeah.
you're I mean, I'll name a few, but like All I Do Is Win, Turn Down for What? Like
Yeah.
the ones that get the people dancing. And then I love house music. I love house music.
I mean, kind of who doesn't?
Just 4 on the floor, 120 to 130 BPM, just melody, just great. I love that kind of stuff. So my DJ set for the trail race today was cool because I did oldies, I did country, I did house, I did some hip hop, and I went 7 hours without playing one single explicit song.
Well, you're not gonna get that around here, that's for sure.
Nah, so
Fuck shit. Fuck.
Yeah, my first song is gonna be a fucking F-bomb right away. I might go up and be like, "What the fuck is up, motherfuckers?" My
You
name is-
should get the crowd
Yeah,
fucking going.
I mean,
You know.
Yeah.
What? Do you have a personal website or anything where anyone can find?
My man, I do. MarcEsses.com.
All right, there you go.
MarcEsses.com.
All right, dude. Thank you so much for being on the show. And one of these days, we're gonna have you on for a fuller, longer length, and we can talk more in depth about your music career.
I love that. Thank you so much for having me, dude.
Dude, thank you. Dan Monahan, everybody from the Dog
Hi,
and
everybody.
Everything.
Hey.
What a fucking great night! And how are you still that fucking great?
Well, you don't have to say it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody expected it.
I mean, we thought you were gonna bomb, to be honest.
No, I really appreciate you saying that. I don't know. I was told once to always keep your feet close to the fire. Keep your talent close to your vest because you never know when you need it.
I get so fucking jealous watching you play guitar. Like
Oh.
you just like are so fluid and smooth, and it's like never miss a beat. I don't think I've ever seen you play a wrong chord.
I have, but I know how to cover it up.
Okay, well, I'm a pretty good watcher, and I've really never seen you fuck up, but that's cool.
Was that the Squire you were?
It was. It was the Squire.
Sounded great. Looked
You
great.
know, and
Did he convince you to buy that?
No. For all you listeners, here's the thing. I've had a few guitars in my life. They've been great. Fender guitars, awesome, expensive guitars. And then recently, for these kind of comeback shows, I went to Guitar Center and I saw something that called to me. And this thing is beautiful. I pick it up, I play it, and I'm like, this is amazing. And I look at the headstock, Squire. And I literally was like, oh no, I think this is like my first guitar kind of a thing. People get a Squire. You get a Squire for your kids, maybe? You know?
Right.
It's like, I can't buy a kid's guitar, and what am I thinking? You know? But I confirmed with a few other people and then talked to Mike. I was talking to him like, dude, I bought a Squire. Is that okay? Like,
Yeah.
and he, honestly, I think by suggesting, by asking him about Squire, I think he bought immediately 3 more Squires.
Yeah. No joke. Fucking that day, I was like,
We were hanging out while we were walking.
let's
He's like,
see.
look at this one.
Yeah, he's
And I
trying
was
to
like,
get
are
me
you
to get
sure
one too.
Squire is okay? He's like, no, it's different now.
Yeah.
And I was
20 years ago, no good.
like,
Now-
right. Well, maybe, yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
it's
even,
fine if you
you know-
fucked with it a little bit, yeah.
like you can get the starter pack Squire that maybe isn't so great, that has like the bottom of the barrel,
Sure.
cheapest stuff, and is really kind of made for like, you know, students, people just starting out. But then you move up a couple notches and they make amazing stuff.
Sure.
And,
Yeah.
you know, it's really come around.
Is the dog and everything really back?
No, we are really bad.
You're really back.
Yeah, you know-
Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. We're very excited, and it's the thing where we just kind of took a break. Maybe we never said it, you know, just kind of like life and
Yeah.
stuff, and then you pick it up.
I think
pick it
it's
back up.
good that we all took a break here and there, except for these guys over here, but that's another story.
Well, they've been towing the line, dude.
Yeah, they've
We
been towing the line. Someone had to toe the line. But I mean, like, you know, we played so much in Chicago for so many years, and we overplayed ourselves, you know?
Sure.
In a way. And I think it's good that we kind of, like, took a break and did other things, and now we're back, and I think it's, like, so fucking magical.
Oh yeah.
It's even more special than it was then, I feel, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So what's next for the dog and everything?
We have a show.
Are you crying?
No.
You look like you're
No,
crying.
I'm just tired.
I'm crying. It was, you know, that story about the Squires
We got
touched me. I'm like, man.
we got a show on December 29th at the Beat Kitchen. That's what's coming up next.
Okay.
Acoustic show, holiday show.
You know why he's telling us? Because he's like, these guys aren't going to put this fucking podcast out.
No,
Now you have to.
we have to. You just forced our hand on that one.
29th Beat Kitchen, Treat of Paris, and AM Taxi.
Oh,
Fantastic.
So now,
great fucking line.
Now we have to put it out.
yep, there you go. So yeah, it's going to be a great show. Yeah, we've recorded some new music. Got a new song coming out in the coming month before the new year.
Okay.
And a video.
All right.
And so yeah, we're back, and we got, you know, all sorts of other starter songs in the bag. So I think we're going to start doing like EPs and stuff like that, you know, over time.
Yeah.
The modern approach.
Was that new T-shirts out there I saw?
Yeah.
How could we get some of those?
I mean, you'd ask me.
Okay.
know.
You're not selling them on the old website or nothing like that?
You know what? I think we have.
For our listeners, you know.
Yeah, you know what? If you hit us up on Instagram right now, we're going to get a store up.
Okay.
So
Cool.
thank you for that.
Yes. So dogandeverything.com. Is there a .com?
To be honest, I'd have to ask Agee.
Oh yeah.
There's an Instagram, so go to that.
You should
What's
always
the
ask
Instagram?
Augie. Yeah.
Is it just the dog?
The dog and everything.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah,
Cool.
Facebook, Instagram.
Well, thank you so much for
Oh.
taking 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Finally.
When I walked in, I was like, "Shit, I'm about to talk for 45 minutes."
Oh.
But
Yeah.
you guys are
That's
serious.
Next time.
No, fucking 5 minutes.
Next time we're gonna talk for 2 hours.
But yeah,
for
we
real.
we are gonna get you on it
Yeah.
and in depth because there's a lot about we see each other every day, but you're a fucking deep dude. You
Yeah,
just-
I would like to philosophize.
yeah,
with
I
both
would
of
really
you.
like to like know some things that like I would never know.
Sure.
Yeah. So next time.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And thank
Thanks,
you for
guys.
putting on a hell of a performance.
No,
it touched
really
me. It's not like I think, you know, a lot of people, it's hard to hear that. But I love the dog and everything so much. And it was really freaking emotional to sit there and like watch you sing those songs to me. And you guys took me back. You guys took me back tonight. Everybody fucking took me back. But anyways, yeah, it was a very special night. And I'll remember this one for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No
All
doubt.
right, Dan.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys. All right. Thank you.
Oh, God damn it. Darren Vorel on the podcast.
Darren Vorel, ladies and
Holy
gentlemen.
shit, where have you been?
I've been trying so hard to be on this damn podcast,
Yeah,
but you guys
sure
just
you
don't
have.
want me. You just don't want me. Oh,
Yeah,
you
I
can't
mean-
do Zoom. You got to do it in person.
Right.
So here I am
Yeah,
in the flesh. You know, ask me whatever you want.
Why are you such an asshole?
It's because it's instilled in me to have hatred for my brother. I don't know. I don't make those
fucking
rules.
perfect. Did you call your mother today?
I didn't, and I didn't even see her.
Holy
We just
shit.
did this show, and I didn't even get to say hi to Mom.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, so you bought a new camera. You're out on the road with the tees.
Yeah.
Snapping some photos.
Yeah.
Anything else we should know that you're doing? Weird or any weird shit you're doing? Or?
Yeah, totally. I mean, the weirdest thing that I did this year is probably come to Chicago after 3 years of being in
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
I pick him up on the fucking plane, and he's like, "All right, take me right back now. I want to go back. It's cold here."
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, anybody who moves out of the Midwest is
Yeah.
like, why the fuck did I live there my whole life?
Yeah.
You know. But I will say, then you start to miss it a lot, and I don't know what it is. It must just be that you know, I grew up here. You guys are here. Having a show like this happen where you see all your friends and the people you love, and the worst part of tonight was you didn't have enough time to
Yeah,
enough
you
time to
couldn't
talk to
really
anyone. And then when you did, it was too loud. And it's like, man, I feel like it's like a missed opportunity because you just want to sit with someone that you haven't seen in a while. It's,
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of like a sad thing about life. You know, you don't
Yeah.
get enough time.
That's
Yeah.
exactly why me and Eric started this podcast, to be honest. Is like, let's hang out with our friends and talk and have it be where we're not at a bar, we're not somewhere loud, we're not, you know, we can just,
We
Hang
can
out.
stay
Like,
in an
no
alley
joke,
till
yeah.
4 in the morning, and
Yeah.
yeah. And
yeah.
Well, I'm a big fan of the podcast. I've been listening, and what is, I guess, a good way to stay connected to people that you love is by listening to the creative work or looking at the creative
Right.
work or whatever, music, podcasts, all these things that we do. You know, we stay connected through the art, and that's why I don't feel like we really skipped a beat, even though I've been gone for 3
Well,
years.
right. That's what's great. Like, so we could talk to each other basically and listen to each other every single day. What is going on with Remainders? Is that still going to
Yeah.
keep rocking or what?
Remain as long as you know we're pretty honest with each other. The other day I had a call with Pat, my co-host, and he
should
was
let our listeners know what
Yeah.
that is.
So Remainders is my movie podcast that I do with my buddy Patrick McIntyre. We used to work at a a movie store called Suncoast Video, and literally it was the best job we ever had. And we were like, well, you know, why don't we just do a podcast where we talk the same way we did when we were in the movie store? Because we miss that, you know? Like when you find somebody you can, like you guys, you know, when you find common ground with somebody, you love to just like rap about it. And then you go home and, you know, do your normal things, but you can have this nice life with somebody who gets you that way. And Pat gets me with movies, and vice versa. But the nice thing is, like, he always introduced me to new things, and I introduce him to new things. I'm a more of an older movie fan, and he likes shit like RoboCop, you know. So, but then he'll be like, "But do you know like the bigger meaning behind those?" You know. And so we have these great conversations.
What is the bigger meaning behind RoboCop?
Well, it's like it has a lot to do with society.
Did you talk
Yeah.
about that one on Remainders?
Yes, that was our
Okay.
50th
He's got,
episode.
Okay, I gotta.
he's got a small penis.
RoboCop does.
Yeah, that's the deep part of it.
Yeah, there
Is
you
it,
go.
is it human or is it cybernetic?
I don't know.
I guess you don't really have to listen to the episode now. You just told it.
I
But
just fucking ruined it.
the Remainders will keep on going as long as we both find it fun and we're both honest about it. Like, hey, if there's a moment where you don't think this is fun or it gets to be too much, like,
Right.
let's not do it. And that's why it's like the purest thing that I do, kind of, because we're both pretty honest about it.
Yeah.
But we love it.
So all of our fans probably want to know, like,
Where can they buy your artwork?
Where can they buy your artwork? What's your website?
DarrenVorel.com. And literally, I don't know if I'm going to be having too much stuff to sell this next year because I've had my own business for 3 years where, you know, doing the starving artist thing. But now I'm feeling like I'm not so much of a starving artist because things have started to happen because of the work that I've done. And I feel like next year it's going to be more like come to the gallery, like you guys and, you know, doing your music and traveling around. It's really important for people to see it in person. And I do like to obviously have stuff available to buy online, but I also want people to come and see it like on the walls and see it for real. It's hard to like really, really like feel what something is. I know it sounds weird, but like, you know, like that's why vinyl's so cool right now. People want to hold something.
That's
you
why I
know?
didn't want to talk to you on the podcast over a fucking Zoom call.
Oh, man, full circle.
In person, dude.
Yeah.
It you know, changes everything. It
Yeah.
makes it so much better. And
Okay, well, you heard it here first, everyone listening. I'm the fool because,
How amazing is it that Dan Musa is sitting right behind you?
it's amazing.
I
yeah.
mean, holy shit. How many
is.
years has that been?
No, I mean, not
Well,
too
we've seen-
long.
yeah,
But yeah, at the same time, Dan's someone that's very special to my heart. And when I saw him, I was like, everybody, I just have this great connection. Like, I still feel like no time has really passed. You know what I mean?
We're still screaming at you. Get back in on stage with your fucking wireless and Yazel beating your ass, unplugging your amp. Okay, cool. So what else tomorrow? What's the scoop? What's going on?
So I'm working with the T's out here. Grateful to my friends who
Grateful to you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Come on.
But that's the thing is like we kind of stick together with it, and I've been lucky enough to been invited to capture this great hometown shows, and celebrating a record that was super successful, and then a brand new one. It's kind of an interesting thing, right? Like a birth of something new, but also celebrating something. Where you started, and so to be a part of that is pretty special, and you can tell everybody was feeling
Right.
that in the crowd. So I'm here working, and I've been able to buy a new camera to get better at my craft because my friends had afforded me the ability to come out here and do this. So I always look at it as every job is sort of an opportunity to grow as an artist. And so either way, if you guys pay me or not, I'm learning and I'm getting really better at being an artist, I think. And
Yeah.
that's how we can help each
Just
other.
keep
I think.
pushing your craft.
Yeah.
Pushing. You're pushing.
I'm pushing it.
Push it real good.
I mean, I'm definitely pushing it doing this podcast because I guarantee Howells is out there being like, fucking
Oh,
Darren.
fuck, yeah. All right, well, we better cut it off. But so when the fuck do we get to see you again?
Well, I'll be back December 16th with you and you doing the TLB show, Christmas Extravaganza with Lucky Boys Confusion and Show Off at the Concord Music Hall here in beautiful, gonna be freezing cold Chicago.
Right, exactly. And on a last note, how badass is fucking Nick?
Nick Agee is probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Every time I've done things with you guys, the first person to really, greet me with open arms has always been him. We got along so well in 2018. I don't think I'd be lying saying that. And Nick's, he's smiling back there because maybe he's like, yeah, I fucking don't really like you, But, I feel like he literally does. And we have a really kind of fun friendship. And I don't see him enough. But whenever I do see him, when we work together, you guys, for the listeners out there, the Plainwhitets have this amazing, and I'll just tell one story before I leave, have this amazing group around them that helps them to put on these great shows that they do. And I'm obviously lucky enough to be a part of it here as in the photography side of things. But Nick is their guitar tech and a virtuoso of other things. And my girlfriend got to see you guys when we were young, and I don't think I've told you this yet. But she was a fan of, and she is now, but she was a fan of you guys way back in the day, Backdrop days and everything.
Yep.
And so she's seen it. She was on the street team. And we talk all the time about you guys and, your music and where you're at, and we listen to the new stuff. And the cool thing is she got to see it when we were young, how things operate now and all of the people involved and the production. And she was so excited. And it was like... She explained it like was seeing you guys for the first time because she got to see the side of you guys she's never seen all these years later, that you guys have people that are working for you guys. You guys are helping, support other artists doing their craft by what you guys do. And it was just beautiful to see it through her eyes, if that makes sense. Yeah.
All right, well, to cut the bull, what time do I have to get you back to the airport? Because I'm not taking you back to the airport. I'm kidnapping your fucking ass. All right, get the fuck out of here.
I may Uber and then just, put on the Plainwhitets
Yeah,
tab.
all right.
Don't worry about it.
DarrenVorel.com, everybody.
DarrenVorel.com. Hey, this is really a pleasure to be on it. I wish we had more time to talk.
Yeah.
Though.
Well, Timothy Howells is going to kick your fucking ass if
He
you don't
is,
get out
for
of
sure.
here.
And I'm sure that's why Nick's here.
Yeah, exactly.
Get Darren the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
So.
all right.
All right, hey, love you guys.
Love
Thanks
you.
for having me on the show.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, we're back with Nick Agee, guitar tech extraordinaire for the Plainwhitets, and also releases music under the name Flux Wave. It's amazing. You should check it out. Nick, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
So tell us about your life.
My life. Where do you want to begin?
You know, what's it like being on the road?
With the Plainwhitets.
Well, we just did a awesome show in Chicago. Second show of the hometown takeover.
Yeah. And is it like the 4th Chicago show in a couple months?
Yeah, it seems like we've been here like every couple weeks.
Yeah. Which we haven't played Chicago that much, in a long ass time. So it's cool. How do you like Chicago, man?
I love Chicago. Since I started working with you guys, like that was the first time I actually ever went to Chicago. I'd never been out of California until I met you guys.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, 8.5 years ago.
Oh, cool.
Now I've probably been to Chicago more than any other place.
Yeah.
What's studio life? So you started off a little bit in the studio?
Yeah, so about 10 years ago now, I moved down to LA, October of 2013, went to music school at the Musicians Institute for audio engineering.
Okay.
And with goals of, getting into the music industry and the recording industry in particular. And I did the 6-month program there, and I was pretty much ready to go after like 3 months. I was like, all right, I just want to do this, But it was kind of a nice stepping stone to get down to LA and get some experience behind a console, and it was really cool. The culture at that school was really awesome because there were students that were learning the audio engineering stuff, that were doing live sound, that were doing the independent artist programs, doing bass, drums, vocals, guitar, like everybody was just creative in one way or another. And so it was awesome because our projects would be, okay, you have to find a singer and a guitar player and a drummer and like put together a band and like record a cover song and facilitate the whole thing from start to finish.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I loved that because that kind of gave me an opportunity to network without having to like reach out to people.
Sure.
On Facebook or whatever. And so I really enjoyed my time at MI, but I was also very much like ready to start making money and like doing it. Yeah. And so, I went to school there for 6 months, and then literally the week that I got out of school, I got a job at a studio. And what I basically did was I took a list of the top 100 studios in LA, and I literally just went through it and marked off studios that I wanted to check out. And it was all like, Conway and Capitol and United Recording and Ocean Way, like all these like big places, and one of them was Grandmaster Recorders, and that one stuck out to me because of Color and the Shape, Foo Fighters, and no doubt Jack Johnson, who I'm a huge fan of. He recorded his first record there. Ben Harper, a lot of classic recordings because the drum room was insane at that studio. And so looking at this list of studios, that one definitely stuck out to me. And so I literally spent a couple days and had my resume in hand and like knocked on the door, or rang the bell or whatever at a lot of these studios, and never even was like let in the door. They basically just, said, just leave your resume right on the steps there.
Just keep ringing the door, buddy.
Leave your resume and get the hell out of here, kid.
I mean, it was literally, and I'm just like, I'll do whatever you want. Just graduated, and I'm sure, like, I don't know. I felt like a lot of people were doing that at the time, but I was just like, it was totally do or die. Yeah. Because I was out of school, running out of money like really fast at this point. So I think it was like the 4th or 5th studio on the list was Grandmaster Recorders, and I, ring the bell. Sure enough, Jimmy Mayweather, who was the studio manager at the time, opens the door and says, well, why don't you come on in? And so it's the first person who I'd actually like talked to, because everybody else, didn't even open the door for me or whatever. And so I walk in and I'm, kind of blown away because it was like a time warp. Like the studio looked exactly like it was 1970, whatever. And so he showed me the studio and then sat me down and interviewed me on the spot and was like, all right, well, we need somebody to kind of clean the studio and like be here and kind of be an intern, and are you cool with doing that, and like when can you start, sort of thing. And he hired me on the spot to basically just be an intern. It was
fucking
like
amazing.
It was perfect. It was like one of those like stories you hear about, and it was exactly what I was expecting.
But it's the kind of thing that doesn't happen. You know,
Right.
Very rarely does that
Yeah.
happen. You know,
Yeah, especially because so many studios were just like, leave your resume, and I was just like, okay,
Right.
they're not going to call me. Like,
Right.
but I felt like the fact that I was like putting myself out there, I was like putting the energy out there.
Yeah,
you
you're
know,
fucking manifested that shit.
Yeah, exactly. And so I feel like so grateful because that studio, after like I was there for a couple of years until it shut down in 2017, unfortunately. But those were like some of the best years of my life. Like I got to work on records with Motorhead and Portugal the Man, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blues Traveler, Sublime, like 30 Heads. There was just a bunch of cool people that would come through there, and I was really fortunate to also spend that time, getting to learn on vintage equipment, because at MI everything, we had like a Neve, an SSL, an API, but it was all perfectly working,
yeah,
brand new,
yeah.
And then
It's not reality.
yeah, and it's funny because 6 months after working at Grandmaster, I feel like I learned way more than I did 6 months at MI.
Yeah.
Because time is money, and okay, channel 17 isn't working on the Neve. Okay, we got to swap it out. It's like you didn't do that stuff at MI. You had somebody who came over and like fixed something if there was a problem, but it was like I was removing modules and like
Real
getting in there and
hands-on.
rewiring the console, and like just stuff that like I never even thought of before. And so that was like a really cool experience to like kind of like learn and have like a hands-on experience in a vintage studio and with all vintage equipment. We had like a Fairchild sitting there that was from the 60s and whatever. It's like really like it was a special time, and has kind of like that moment kind of set up all the other opportunities for everything in my life. Like that's actually how I came to work for the Plainwhitets, because somebody that I had worked with in the studio went on to work with them, and then he called me up asking if I could fill in for a couple shows, and then
And
next
you've been
thing you know,
slumming it with us ever since.
8.5 years later, and here we are.
Damn.
So when's the new Flux Wave coming out?
Flux Wave.
And why is there a dot in between Flux and Wave?
I don't
Good
know.
question. Good question.
Why all caps? Is it all caps?
No, I think it's like all lowercase.
Lowercase.
Yeah. I don't know.
You have an issue with capital letters? So
No. It's
some
just one of those things
deep-seated
where
hatred?
like I didn't want it to be like Nick Agee. I didn't want it to be like my name. I wanted to use like some sort of alias where it just like didn't really matter like
I mean,
what it was.
It's cool. So when is the new Flux Wave coming out?
So I have some demos. I have probably like, I don't know, 10 or 12 songs that I'm like been working on. I just don't know if I'm going to release them as like an EP or as singles or both, or whatever it is.
I mean, the question is when's he gonna stop hoofing your shit and get down to work on his shit?
I've been working on it in between shows and stuff, like when I'm home. But
well, we're excited for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Where can
Thank you.
people find Flux Wave?
You can find Flux Wave on Spotify and Apple Music and whatever you listen to music on. YouTube.
And where can people find you in order to poach you from the Plainwhitets and get you in a studio for 3 times what we pay you?
You can find me on Instagram at Nick Agee 13. That's AGEE.
Yeah. There you go. Well, dude, next time you're in town, we're gonna catch up and we're gonna talk about the new Flux Wave.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
And we're going to do a deep dive.
Yeah, we're gonna get into this shit.
Yeah, I'm looking to probably put out like an EP by either the end of the year or the start of next year, like maybe in the spring.
I'm
out a couple tracks.
feeling a 5-song EP coming out in about January. Yeah, it sounds about right.
That would be good.
Yeah.
I have the demos. I have like the songs are there. I just need to like, just kind of finalize a couple things.
I'm
but
still waiting for my phone to ring for that feature.
I know.
You know?
There's a couple tracks that I would love to
Alright.
get your bass on.
I always had like this thing, like when I was working for them and tuning guitars and stuff, I was like, how cool would it be by night, I basically do that, and if I could be like a day band somewhere where I could just like play during the day, but obviously, there just is no time to do that.
Yeah.
But it was like a dream. It's like, oh cool, travel by night, do shows, and like during the day you can,
It's funny on the road. There's so much time, but there really is
There's
no time.
Yeah. It's like
Sure.
sound check's over, like open up my laptop and I'm like, oh shoot, show starts in an hour or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's always like ends up being something like that. So
You should start a fucking podcast for in between.
You should.
that would
You know,
be
it's a
cool.
little downtime.
Yeah.
Catch people that are coming through.
What would it be called?
Fucking Flux Wave.
Flux.pod.
Yeah, Flux.
Flux dot.
Flux time.
I like that. Yeah.
All right, Nick. Well, thank you so much. And next time you're here, we're fucking diving into this shit.
Yeah, definitely.
All right,
Let's
man.
do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. We have Scott Darling with us from the Chicago Blackhawks and now stand-up comedian.
Yeah, well, thanks. I just saw you guys play. That was awesome.
Do
You
we,
guys
do we
shredded.
blow you away?
Yeah, you guys are my speed of music. I liked it a lot.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Yeah. Onelife's been like, we were a band like 20 years ago, and we just decided after Tom, he started this label called Humans Were Here, and he asked us to be on it and to like kind of like, we never really had the songs. We had them out, but they weren't really in like pure record form. So he said, hey, I would love to put out these songs. Would you guys go in the studio and record them? So we did. And pretty soon here, hopefully we're thinking maybe spring, early spring, we're going to release it.
I still can't believe, like, after 20 years, you guys still, like,
Love
hit
each other?
that hard. Like, well, that also, you know, but, like, play that hard, and, like, with that energy and, like, your vocals. Like, I played 11 years of pro hockey, and I can hardly walk.
Yeah.
And you guys are still out there just, like, ripping. I think it's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I've been playing hockey, not like you, but, you know, my whole life too. And I know how I'm, like I said, I'm going to play on Thanksgiving and I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, if you need a coach, I can come out. and coach.
Yeah. Might need a little pep talk before I hit the ice.
I'm a hype guy. Let's go.
If you need a massage, call somebody else.
All right, yeah, sure. So tell us about all the stand-up stuff you're doing.
Yeah, I kind of fell into this like a year and a half ago. And obviously a slow start of a big learning curve of this new life that I'm trying to do. I don't have expectations of becoming like a Netflix special, whatever, but I'm getting better. And I just headlined for the first time at 45 minutes. But I'm at like feature level. I would say like a 20-minute. That's my sweet spot. But I just really enjoy it. Like,
Okay.
and now I'm making money, but like not, it's like walking around like money. But it's just like earlier I was losing money like doing it, but I just really love doing it. And like when at the charity event at the Salt Shed, when Plainwhitets asked me to do it, they thought I'd say like, no, are you kidding me? This is the coolest thing like ever. Like my family's from here, like from Palatine, and my mom comes here to see shows all the time. I was like emotional. Like this was super cool for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Thanks for doing it for us.
Yeah, I couldn't believe you said yes.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I don't know.
Comics kill for stage time.
Yeah.
It's all about like practicing and reps. Like even on nights I don't have shows, I go to open mics and try new jokes, like whatever. But to do that with that amount of people, like that was for me. I'm gonna watch that video a million times. Like
Awesome.
I treat it like game tape. Like, and I'm pretty sure I didn't mess up one joke, which is that means I'm happy with how it went.
Yeah, well, good. And that's all it's about. I mean, you know, even when we make a few mistakes on stage or something like that, it's like, don't dwell on them, you know, just move on to the next show.
Yeah, my girlfriend hates me because if I stumble over one word, I'm like, I bombed.
Yeah.
I bombed. And because the one thing I have a joke about the dog biting my ear off. I say Gary has a get out of jail free card, and I always stumble over that sentence. So if I do mess that up, I'm like, I bombed. It was terrible. She's like, shut up. No one even noticed. Like,
Right. That's the thing is most people don't even notice.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And they're just in the moment and enjoying it. So, well, you have a career in it for sure. So,
yeah, it's getting there. Like I got some exciting shows coming up. I got 5 in Chicago with Ian Bagg at the end of the month. One in McHenry at the Vixen Theater on the 29th of November. And Zany's Nashville the 2nd and 3rd. Like, so it's starting to really like work for me.
fantastic. Where can we find you on socials?
So on social, I only have Instagram. It's Scott Darling. It'll pop up. Goalie picture, dead giveaway. But I have a link tree on there that has my dates, or if someone wants to book me for something or anything, that's where you'd find my information.
Okay. Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now I got one hockey question. Being on the ice from one hockey player to another, when the national anthem is sang in the beginning of a game and you're standing there, what does that feel like?
Well, I mean, one of the like
most emotional moments I've ever had in my life was when the United Center, my first game. Like, I've been a Hawks fan my entire life, and like during the anthem, it wasn't like me listening to the words. It's like what it is, and I just thought about I was on so many minor league teams for so many years. Starting in Louisiana, I think there's like 13 of them before I got to the NHL. Just thinking about every rink I've ever played. I'm like, I'm gonna get emotional right now. Like thinking about the path that I took to get, and I'm playing for my favorite team where I grew up watching, Ed Belfour play. I was a fan of Corey Crawford. I had to get over that when we were teammates. But that moment, and I was like, Scott, don't cry, because I'm a big baby. But I'm like, they're gonna show you on TV. And I cried, and then I was like, okay, game time. Wipe your tears, because then you can't see the puck. So it's just something, man. Because like I love the Blackhawks, and I was just so lucky that that's the first team I signed with.
Hell yeah, dude.
Did I read this? You're the first Illinois native Chicago Blackhawk to win Stanley Cup?
I'm the only Chicago kid to win a championship with any team.
Any team.
Any
Holy
pro
shit,
sport
dude,
team
that's fucking
in
huge.
Chicago. So, yeah, I'm very, very
Congratulations.
fortunate.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was something. I wish I could have played there forever, but I did too well, and they had to trade me because I couldn't afford my next contract. Got to make that money.
That's right.
But no, it was the best 3 years. The Blackhawks are like first-class organization. Like I had such a great experience, and it was something. It was special just for my family too. Like, because we all love the Hawks, and my mom and I had watched the 13 Cup like at our house, and then they're on the bus with me in 15. You know what I mean? Like that
It's
kind
giving
of
me
shit.
chills just thinking about it right now.
Yeah, I know. It's like in the 10, I was like training, and I was like in college, and then 13 just watched with my mom in her house, and then all of a sudden they're there with me. And for all the work that my parents put in, sacrificed my entire life, because I've been a goalie since I was 5, playing since I was 3, and it all paid off.
Yeah.
So,
well, I can say from one fan of a million, like honestly, where you guys took us was the most emotional roller coaster of all of our lives. I mean, I'm sure you were in the game, but I mean, outside the world was just on fire. We were all so in love with watching every moment of it, and it was all those moments, everything that you did your whole life up to those that like you don't even understand what that did for us to get us.
well, yeah, I mean, I joke about it because the only thing people remember about me is the Nashville series.
Yeah.
And but the reason why I was able, they say what is like luck, like preparation meets timing or something like that, to get put in and do the job for the city, for the team, and get through that series and then eventually win the Stanley Cup. Like Jonathan Toews, after winning the Cup, like right away, he said, "Don't forget what you did for this team."
Right.
And I was like, oh. I was already crying. I cry all the time, and for good reasons. Because
I mean, the work that we put in and anything we do in life, that final moment when you get to share that with all your teammates in the city of Chicago.
yeah, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. You showed up and you answered the bell for your team, for your city. Like I said, it gives me chills still to this day.
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. We have to have you on again.
of course, I'd love to. We
So
can
the
do a
ne-
long one. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much to cover.
Yeah.
When's the next show?
What's the date today? It's
Today's the
18th.
I think-
18th of November.
I think I have this week off because I have some stuff I have to do. But in McHenry on the 29th, and then Zany's Old Town have 5 shows. The 30th, 31st, December 1st. That's the ones in Chicago.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll make sure we kind of put a tag in there too. We'll look them up. All right. Well, thank you so much.
All right, man.
Thanks.
All right. It's
All right,
great
keep
talking to you.
shredding.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, that wraps up another awesome episode of To the Bottom Music Pod.
It was a great one. We had a lot of great conversations with some great
We
people.
really did. It was really great to see so many people come through the door over here today.
And what a fucking incredible night.
Yeah, this show was really special. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you guys asking us to be part of this night. I see Monahan out there screwing around, making faces at me.
Yep,
Yeah.
as he does.
All right.